After being cheated on at her wedding, a girl changes her appearance to go unnoticed and heads to a concert, where, after the event, she finds someone outside changing who, after a misunderstanding, ends up kissing her. That someone turns out to be none other than the idol of the moment who was escaping from his bodyguards. So let's get started. Our story begins by introducing Chen Qing, a young woman who is fleeing from an arranged marriage. Chased by men in white, she manages to hide in an alley where she encounters someone who seems to be a woman changing clothes. Upon commenting on the scene, she discovers that it's not a woman, but Situ Feng, a popular singer. With little time to react, Qing Qing pretends to kiss him to throw off her pursuers. However, Situ Feng is also running away from his own problem, and they both end up accidentally sharing a genuine kiss while trying to escape. The narrative goes back to the day before, showing Qing Qing as she looks at a memory diary of her parents, who fell in love in the city of Yuncheng. During a dream, she has a vision of them, encouraging her to seek her own happiness at Mingdi University. Upon waking up, she decides to take control of her life and escape from family expectations. During her engagement ceremony, Qing Qing takes advantage of the distraction of the event to sell her gifts to the staff members, making it clear that she doesn't want to go along with her grandfather's plan. Although she pretends to accept the engagement, she manages to switch places with her friend Nalan Yiji to escape just before the crucial moment. Qing Qing escapes on a motorcycle, openly declaring her rejection of the engagement to Lu Jinyang. After arriving in Yuncheng, Qing Qing completely transforms herself by cutting her hair, wearing glasses, and putting on makeup with freckles, to adopt a simple appearance and avoid being recognized. On her way, she accidentally swaps her bag with that of another man. Without money and looking for food, she tries to beg, but she is discovered by her fine clothes. A local beggar, the guide in the art of begging, teaching her techniques to seem more convincing. Meanwhile, Situ Feng is performing at a concert where Qing Qing, disguised among the crowd, tries to avoid the men who are chasing her. At the end of the show, Feng faces a personal problem. She tries to avoid the men who are chasing her. At the end of the show, Feng faces a personal problem. The men sent by his father demand that he attend his wedding, but Feng, determined not to go, disguises himself as a woman with the help of his stylist to escape the venue. The paths of both protagonists cross again in the alley of the Principio, where the context of their respective escapes becomes clear. Everything seems to be going well, but suddenly, the two protagonists accidentally kiss. Our protagonists are shocked by what just happened. But Feng regains his composure, first assuring him that it was an accident and asking him not to mention it to anyone. He tries to leave, but Qing Qing stops him, insisting that it was her first kiss. After recognizing him as the famous idol, she blackmails him into helping her get back her swapped bag, using their encounter as leverage. Although Feng hesitates at first, he eventually agrees to avoid Qing Qing making a scene. Together, they track down the bag, which leads them to a hotel where they meet Gu Nangxi, the man with whom Qing Qing accidentally swapped her belongings. Feng uses his charm and cleverness to facilitate the bag exchange, but he doesn't immediately return Qing Qing's belongings, proposing a deal to keep control of the situation. The forced alliance takes them to the elegant venue of Feng's father's wedding. There, Feng confronts his father directly, accusing him of betraying his mother's memory by getting married again. The conversation becomes tense when the young bride appears, who is clearly much younger than Feng's father. The latter tries to maintain his composure, but Feng is preparing a surprise for the ceremony. During the event, Feng takes the microphone and improvises an announcement. He declares that he is engaged to Qing Qing, who is with him on stage. To reinforce his statement, he kisses her in front of all the guests, causing a stir. Among those present is Jinya, a woman who clearly has feelings for Feng. Qing Qing, bewildered, tries to stay calm, but Feng persuades her with an unlimited credit card to play along. The situation escalates when Xinya confronts Qing Qing, pouring water over her head and accusing her of being a gold digger. Qing Qing responds cleverly, firing back verbally and humiliating Xinya in public by tying her dress to the tablecloth, causing a disaster. This moment leads Qing Qing to escape the place, seeking refuge in a room to plan her next move. Meanwhile, Feng negotiates with his father, who offers to cancel his wedding if Feng breaks his engagement with Qing Qing. Feng agrees without hesitation, achieving his goal. Qing Qing, on her part, meets Gu Nangxi in his hideout. Although she isn't recognized at first, she manages to keep her identity hidden while interacting with him. The scene reveals that Nangxi and Feng are close friends, which adds a new dynamic to the plot. The next day, Qing Qing heads to Mingde University to complete her registration. Upon finding men sent by her grandfather watching the entrance, she resorts to her disguise again to go unnoticed. This way, she manages to enter the campus and start her new chapter as a student. Chen manages to register at the university just before the office closes, securing her spot as a student. During the process, she sees a photograph of her father on the wall and asks the professor about him. She discovers that he was an outstanding student and president of the student council, but she feels disheartened to learn that he no longer works at the university. Meanwhile, Situfeng is facing pressure from his agency due to the rumors about his fiancée. His representative, Daniel, tries to manage the situation by describing Qing as a new assistant at the company. But Feng can't even remember her name correctly, which makes the plan difficult. On her part, Qing meets her roommate Fang, a kind girl who helps her adjust to university life. They quickly develop a good relationship and Fang shows her around the campus. While exploring, Qing comes across the popularity of the three most prominent guys at the university. First, there's Gunangxi, a kind young man and president of the student council. Then there's Lin Yang, the bad boy of the school. And finally, Situfeng, whose presence annoys Qing. Even though she tries to go unnoticed, Yang recognizes her and provokes Feng in front of everyone. Feng, to protect his image, denies knowing her, leaving her exposed and humiliated. Later, Qing faces another conflict with Qinya and her group of friends, known as the campus goddesses. In a hostile exchange, Qing manages to defend himself with wit, but she ends up being temporarily expelled from the campus when the girls destroy her student ID. Feng promises to help her get a temporary pass the next day. But Qing decides to spend the rest of the day exploring the city. During her stroll, her grandfather calls her, trying to locate her, but she avoids revealing her whereabouts. At a cafe, Qing runs into trouble when she uses Feng's card to withdraw money. While enjoying her meal, she accidentally ruins a signed poster of Feng, which infuriates the fans in the place. To calm the situation, she is forced to wash hundreds of dishes as punishment while trying to avoid talking about her encounter with Feng. Fang shows up to help her, and they both share a heartfelt moment. Qing confesses to her that she never had true friends because of her controlled life. Even though she appreciates Fang's support, she's still resentful towards Feng for getting her involved in this mess. The next day, Qing returns to campus with a new pass and is introduced as an exchange student in her class. To her surprise, her assigned seat is next to Feng, who tries to ignore her by pretending to read a book. Qing, determined to face the situation, introduces herself as his new deskmate, marking the start of a forced coexistence. The dynamic between Chen Qing and Situfeng starts off tense from their first encounter in the classroom. When introducing herself, Qing extends her hand to Feng, but he ignores her, prompting the teacher to scold him. Reluctantly, Feng responds to the greeting in a harsh manner. Qing tries to adapt to the classroom environment, but her inexperience from being homeschooled leads her to make mistakes that provoke laughter among her classmates. During class, Qing and Feng have a confrontation under their desks. Qing, tired of Feng's attitude, steps on his foot, which causes Feng to push his chair, making her fall to the floor. The scene catches the teacher's attention, who orders them to stay behind to clean the classroom. Frustrated, Qing starts to reflect on the skills she learned in her childhood, like taekwondo, and decides to use them. In front of everyone, she approaches Feng with an apparently calm attitude, but she knocks him down repeatedly, leaving the others surprised. While they clean the classroom, Qing and Fang hear rumors about her. Some students speculate that she's a crazy fan of Feng, which irritates Qing. Although she tries to defend herself, Fang calms her down and encourages her to avoid conflicts. Some students speculate that she's a crazy fan of Feng, which irritates Qing. Even though she tries to defend herself, Fang calms her down and encourages her to avoid conflicts. In a moment of calm, Gunangxi approaches Qing to apologize for his involvement in the events related to Feng. Qing accepts the apology without any hard feelings, showing her understanding side. Daniel complicates things. He suggests Qing be Feng's assistant, which they dislike. Qing makes it clear she won't help Feng. He suggests that Qing act as Feng's personal assistant to justify their closeness, a proposal that both of them dislike. During the conversation, Qing makes it clear that she won't make things easier for Feng, even going so far as to declare him her enemy. Later, Qing has dinner alone in the cafeteria and takes the opportunity to gather information about her father from other students. She discovers that the records of former students are in the student council office, led by Gunangxi. Motivated by this information, Qing decides to sneak into the office that very night to look for clues. However, her plan fails when she accidentally damages a valuable painting, which leads her to receive a hefty fine and the threat of being expelled. If not, pay up, disappointed and not knowing how to gather the money. Qing follows Fang to a cafe, where she finds out that Fang works to cover her expenses. Fang Fang explains her financial situation, but Qing Qing, worried about her friend, suggests that they quit and work together on a new idea to make some money. At another moment, Qing Qing overhears a conversation between Gu Nangxi and his cousin, who threatens to expel his mother and him from the family. Qing Qing intervenes, pretending to be his girlfriend, which forces the cousin to leave. Later, Nangxi thanks her for her help, and when Qing Qing asks how she could join the student council, he promises to talk to the department head. In the end, Qing Qing reflects on the need to make money while working on her plan to get closer to the student council. Even though she faces multiple obstacles, her wit and determination promise new opportunities as she unravels the past related to her father and navigates university life. A new day begins at the university, and Feng grabs the attention of his fans by showing himself from the classroom window while pretending to read on his tablet. Meanwhile, Qing Qing kicks off her new business with Fang Fang, a messaging service aimed at wealthy and lazy students on campus. Qing Qing with a megaphone repeatedly announces her business, but Feng turns it off, claiming it's distracting him from his studies. Qing Qing, far from being intimidated, points out that it's him who's more worried about looking good in front of his fans. The discussion is momentarily interrupted when Fang Fang remembers the initial business strategy, which is to find someone with a positive image who can promote it. The ideal candidate turns out to be Gu Nangxi, who uses the service, attracting the attention of other students. The strategy works, and soon a wave of orders comes in for Qing Qing and Fang Fang, including requests from Feng's own fans. He, incredulous, questions Nangxi's decision, who responds with indifference. Qing Qing and Fang Fang work tirelessly, picking up and delivering orders all over campus. During one of her deliveries, Qing Qing runs into Xinya, whose annoyance at Qing Qing's success doesn't go unnoticed. Qing Qing also delivers a message to Feng, who, thinking it's a love letter from her, immediately rejects it. However, he discovers that it's part of Qing Qing's business, which now includes delivering love letters to Feng as part of the service. In an attempt to challenge her, Feng tasks her with buying drinks for the whole class, thinking she won't be able to fulfill the request. Qing Qing surprises him by coordinating a massive delivery in advance, leaving him speechless. Later, during a swimming class, Qing Qing questions why Feng isn't participating. Feng avoids the topic, but when Qing Qing jokes about pushing him into the water, his reaction suggests he has a deep fear related to water. The incident at the pool sparks more rumors, especially about Yang, who saved Qing Qing. However, the misunderstandings are quickly cleared up by Fang Fang. At night, Qing Qing and Fang Fang count their earnings from the first week, which turn out to be less than expected to cover Qing Qing's debt to the professor. Determined to solve her problem, she uses Feng's card to pay the fine, although this causes more friction between them. In an exchange with Xinya, Qing reaffirms her position as Feng's personal assistant and desk mate, challenging Xinya's insinuations. Meanwhile, Nangxi warns Feng about Qing's attitude and her ability to disrupt his routine, although Feng tries to downplay its importance. Qing continues to expand her business by reselling tickets for Feng's concerts, which creates more tension between them. Feng, annoyed, uses his position to give her seemingly unnecessary orders, like bringing him water at the exact temperature he wants. But Qing Qing responds with determination. During a math class, the teacher hands out the exam results and points out Feng's low grade, assigning him to the same study group as Qing Qing. She, delighted, offers to help him improve, while Feng tries to protest unsuccessfully. Meanwhile, Qing Qing starts to get interested in the university files, looking for information about her father. Nangxi, in an attempt to integrate her into the student council, takes her to meet the council members, where Qing Qing encounters Xinya. Once again, Qing Qing and Xinya have a standoff, locking eyes, until Gu Nangxi mentions that it was Xinya who allowed Qing Qing to join the student council, assigning her to the same department as herself. Xinya, in a challenging tone, tests Qing Qing's determination by describing a one-week trial period, after which she may be rejected if she doesn't meet expectations. Qing Qing is assigned as an assistant to Hua Munian, the head of the entertainment department, who is demanding from the start. During her presentation, Munian makes it clear that she doesn't tolerate jokes and prioritizes personal hygiene. Although the meeting starts with tensions, Qing Qing manages to lighten the mood with a comment about Munian's peculiar way of speaking. For her first task, Munian assigns Qing Qing the difficult job of moving dozens of chairs to the activity room. Qing Qing completes the task without complaining, but soon faces a new challenge. Getting all the necessary materials for a party. Despite a limited budget, Munian trusts Qing Qing's abilities, recalling her success with her errand business. Meanwhile, Feng's fans at the cafe dedicated to him find out that he will be singing at the welcome party. During class, Ching Ching, who appears to be known under the pseudonym Evian Chow on a blog, begins to receive insulting messages. Unfazed, he responds with equal energy and continues with his plan to tutor Feng in math, stopping him just as he tries to escape under the excuse of going to the bathroom. During their study session, Feng tries to cheat using a protractor, but Ching Ching catches him and scolds him, comparing his intelligence to the oxygen in the Himalayas. Annoyed and feeling scarce, Feng decides to leave, claiming he has a rehearsal. Comparing his intelligence to the oxygen in the Himalayas. Annoyed and feeling scarce, Feng decides to leave, claiming he has a rehearsal. At the company, Feng presents a ballad titled Breathe, that he personally composed. Although the executives praise his talent, they refuse to include the song in his album, arguing that it doesn't fit with his public image. In a moment of frustration, Feng runs into Nangxi, who listens to his song and recognizes its connection to Xinyu, someone significant in Feng's past. Feng expresses his desire to perform the song at the party, as it could be his only chance to present it. Later, King leads Feng to an empty gym, supposedly to study. However, the scene turns into an impromptu concert when Ching Ching introduces Feng as the artist. Although initially surprised, Feng takes the microphone and sings. Among the audience, Moonian Yang is impressed by the amount of money raised thanks to Ching Ching, while Feng seems to notice with some discomfort the closeness between them. At the welcome party, the microphones disappear just before Feng's performance. Ching Ching chases after the culprit, retrieves the equipment, and steps onto the stage to hold the microphone. Feng sings Breathe, dedicating it to a special person, while Ching Ching is mesmerized by his performance. The next day, Ching Ching and Feng have a brief but meaningful exchange in the classroom. Feng, noticing a scratch on Ching Ching's wrist, gives her a band-aid with his face printed on it. Even though Ching Ching mocks the design, she accepts the gesture. Later, Ching Ching finds herself humming Feng's song and starts to reflect on her feelings. Although she initially denies it, Feng, upon hearing her talk about her symptoms, suggests that she might be in love. Ching Ching denies it, but as she looks through her notebook and finds drawings of Feng, she starts to question herself. The release of the Breathe video by Feng's fans results in a positive reception online, which leads the company's representative to agree to include the song in the new album on the condition that it goes viral. Daniel, are you satisfied with this progress? He comments on the possibility that Evian Cao, the mysterious artist who made caricatures mocking Feng, might be behind the spread. Mei Feng's stylist suggests that it could be someone from his class, but Feng dismisses that idea. At the university, Ching Ching attends a student council meeting where Shinya takes the opportunity to assign her heavy tasks, including the distribution of IEDs to the student leaders. Ching Ching, far from being discouraged, fulfills everything, but keeps a small satisfaction to herself, the no-makeup photo of Shinya that she finds among the documents. That night, Ching Ching notices that Feng is worried. The next day, Feng admits that her father needs an expensive surgery. This sets Ching Ching's plans in motion to help her. Meanwhile, on campus, the no-makeup photos of Shinya and her group appear on the bulletin board, provoking widespread mockery. Ching Ching, pleased with her small victory, she discovers an audition to star in a music video that could provide the financial solution Feng needs. Despite Feng's doubts and Feng's discouraging comments, Ching Ching decides to show up for the audition. At the venue, she discovers that the lead will be the star of Feng's new music video, something that Shinya uses to mock her. After her initial elimination, however, Ching Ching decides that the audition isn't the only one. Determined, she transforms back into her original appearance under the name Ching Chen. Her unique and improvised performance in the audition makes her stand out, and she is selected for the lead role. Daniel, in charge of coordinating the video, finds something familiar about Ching Chen, but he doesn't connect it to Ching Ching. Ching Ching assures that the cash prize will be used to help Feng and gets ready for the recording, keeping her identity a secret. Back in class, Ching Ching finds Feng secretly eating chocolate, breaking the rules of his contract. She uses this to negotiate with Feng, convincing him to help her with her delivery business in exchange for keeping her secret. Soon, Feng starts making deliveries, surprising the students and attracting even more customers. Despite her initial reluctance, she starts to enjoy the interactions and the exercises that Ching Ching suggests to keep fit. Her change in attitude is also reflected in her willingness to participate in a basketball game, although her failed attempts to score provoke laughter and frustration among her teammates, including Ching Ching. During the game, Ching Ching receives a call confirming that the music video shoot will take place at the university. Although she hides her excitement, she starts getting ready for the next day while continuing to help Feng and facing the challenges on campus. Fang, for her part, shows signs of growing interest in Qingqing, even noticing small details like her absence from class. On the day of the music video shoot, Qingqing arrives on set with her face covered, afraid of being recognized. After being directed to the preparation area, she runs into Daniel and Mei, who seems to be watching her with a suspiciously familiar look. Soon after, Nang arrives and is shocked to recognize her as the girl from the hotel, while Xinya, noticing his reaction, tries to dig deeper into the situation. When Feng shows up, Xinya rushes to hang onto his arm, marking her territory, while Qingqing excuses herself to touch up her makeup. During a moment alone, Miu Nangxi introduces herself to help Qingqing, but her closeness seems more like curiosity to identify her than courtesy, although she ends up only asking about the shade of her lipstick. In a meeting to go over the storyboard, Xinya hints that Qingqing doesn't know how to play the piano, but Qingqing proves her wrong by flawlessly performing a classic German piece. The performance receives applause and comments from Daniel, who suggests that Qingqing could become a star. This only irritates Xinya, who complains to Feng about having to film the video on her birthday, making sure he promises to celebrate with her. During the recording, the director encourages Feng to film the video, and Qingqing to get to know each other better to achieve the chemistry of a couple that has just broken up. Feng tries to be nice and offers to answer any questions, but Qingqing only comments on the difference between the cold Feng described in the media and the man standing in front of her. Feng, for his part, suggests thinking of sad memories to achieve the necessary emotion. In the first takes, Qingqing keeps stepping on Feng's foot with her heels. This leads the director to call for a break. During the break, Qingqing teases Feng by using the same excuses he used with her in the past when he asked her for water. Later, in a piano scene, Feng notices that Qingqing doesn't seem to be local, which leads her to admit that she's from Jinchen. Feng and Nangxi offer to show her around the city, but Qingqing tries to avoid the commitment. At the end of the day, it takes an unexpected turn when fans discover the filming location. To avoid trouble, MEI suggests that Feng and Nangxi swap clothes with Qingqing to throw off the curious onlookers. As they leave in disguise, the fans are satisfied believing that the female lead already has a partner, which reassures them about her relationship with Feng. Meanwhile, Qingqing uses the money she received from the recording to help Fang with her father's surgery expenses. However, the situation takes a dangerous turn when both are kidnapped by J.I.'s henchmen, those who try to use them to attract Feng. Qingqing manages to trick the henchmen and escape with Fang to a haunted house under construction. Feng receives a call from Yi Yang, who informs him that he has Qingqing. Worried, Feng goes to the amusement park with Nanqi. There, Yi Yang confronts him, accusing him of being responsible for Xinya's death. Feng admits his guilt, although he insists that he owes nothing to Yi Yang or anyone else. The confrontation escalates until Feng and Nangxi manage to find and rescue Qingqing in the haunted house, where Feng once again shows his bravery by protecting her from an accident. As he leaves, Yi Yang makes it clear that his feud with Feng is far from over, promising to keep making his life miserable. However, in an unexpected gesture, he helps Fang, showing a softer side by offering to take her home. Later, while Qingqing tries to pretend to be hurt, Feng quickly realizes she's acting. Despite their constant arguments, the atmosphere between them seems to soften. Feng, worried about Qingqing's safety, offers to take her home, and even though their interaction is still filled with jokes and little confrontations, the connection between them seems to strengthen. Meanwhile, Xin is already waiting in vain at the cinema, feeling the weight of the snub on her birthday. Daniel and Mei watch the music video Finished by Breathe. When Feng arrives to meet them, Daniel informs him that the company plans to promote Feng and Qingqing as a national couple. But Feng surprises everyone by announcing that he doesn't want to release the song. Keeping his promise, Ajiyang states that he has no other reason than not wanting to do it. Meanwhile, at school, Xinya's friends comment that Feng and Nangxi were with Qingqing during Xinya's birthday, which leads her to swear to ruin Qingqing's life. In the library, Qingqing confronts Nangxi, using him to lean on because of her swollen ankle. However, her true intention is to find out more about Lan Xinya. Nangxi mentions that Feng and Yang completely changed after Xinya's death, but he suggests that she talk directly to Feng if she wants more answers. In the classroom, Feng is playing on his phone when Qingqing arrives limping. As he tries to get closer to study math, Qingqing refuses to help him and seizes the opportunity to confront him about the incident with Yang. With a projector and a whiteboard, he tries to present what he knows, but Feng quickly becomes uncomfortable. The argument escalates when Qingqing mentions Xinya's name, causing Feng to lose his patience and smash the device, and warning him to stop meddling. Alone in the classroom, Qing reflects on why she cares so much about Feng while venting her frustration through drawing. On the other hand, Feng's fangirls discover new illustrations by Evian Cao and comment that they seem to understand Feng deeply, sparking their curiosity to contact the artist. Nanshi, after seeing the drawings, jokes with Feng about how well they represent him, but Feng takes it with annoyance, warning that he won't tolerate anyone making fun of him. Later, in math class, Qing refuses to help Feng when he tries to look at her answers. After class, Feng asks Qing out for dinner through a message, and she agrees. At night, in the restaurant, Feng compliments Qing, mentioning that he doesn't usually lie, so if he says she's pretty, he means it. During dinner, Feng admits that he won't release the music video for Brie. Qing shows understanding, and Feng explains that the song was written for a very special girl who passed away 3 years ago. He confesses that releasing the song would reopen wounds and cause discomfort. Qing thanks him for his honesty, and Feng proposes a toast to their friendship. However, as Qing reflects, she wonders why Feng trusts his secrets with Qing and not with her. The next day, Qing is upset with Feng and decides to ignore him, even stopping providing him with snacks. Feng, confused by her attitude, tries to help her, but she rejects him. Meanwhile, Xenia and her friends start a plan to discredit Qing, accusing her of selling expired products. The situation complicates the business for Qing and Fang, and although Qing suspects that Xenia is behind the problem, she lacks the evidence to prove it. Feng, upon learning about the situation, turns to the security cameras to gather evidence. Although they initially refuse to show him the videos, he uses his influence to convince the person in charge. Nangxi finds him exhausted after spending nights reviewing the recordings and suggests that he should make up with Qing. Feng insists on keeping his involvement a secret. In a later meeting, Nangxi presents the video showing someone tampering with Qing's products, thus clearing her name. Although Xenia tries to hide her reaction, Qing seems to sense her guilt with a look of disdain. Feng, for his part, avoids revealing that he was the one who obtained the recordings. Later, Xenia assigns Qing to clean the school files as revenge, intentionally locking her in the building. To both of their surprise, Feng is also there, serving a punishment assigned by teacher Chen. Although they initially try to ignore each other, they end up facing the situation together. Meanwhile, Qing is looking for information about her father. Feng notices her sadness and thinks about comforting her, but he hesitates. The mood lightens when Qing, startled by a noise, jumps onto Feng. The scene turns into a comedic moment, and for a brief moment, something more intimate, until Nangxi arrives to free them. Feng, visibly upset at seeing the closeness between Qing and Nangxi, hides his emotions and acts distant. Over the weekend, Nangxi invites Qing out as a thank you for clearing her name. However, upon finding Feng and Qing already in the same place, the tension rises. Feng feels uneasy watching Qing and he watches the interaction between Qing and Nangxi jealously, marking the beginning of an internal conflict that promises to intensify in the future. And so ends the first part of this great drama. Let's remember that these episodes are very long. So subscribe and comment on which part you liked the most so I can give you a heart and bring the second part.